Are you ready to party? Party!
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Music Gauntlet channel. I hope you all are doing well today, and of course I am your host, Nigel Uno. And don't we just have the best news to talk about today? It is the Grammy season, where they announce who is going to be up for the awards in the following 2019 year. And if you know anything about the Grammys, well, don't they just do a great job of picking the artists and who deserves the award, huh? Everybody's always curious who wins their album of the year, who wins the artist of the year, but at the end of the day, does anybody actually sit down to watch this performance? It's through what, 2 hours, 3 hours of this whole thing with commercials in between? No, I really don't think anybody is these days. Especially when the very next day you have like one of two options. The first is you could go on any news site and they're gonna list you like who won right away. And the second is you're gonna have like any like YouTube video you could find that's just gonna have a compilation of people winning awards the whole night. Why are you gonna sit there the whole performance just to see shit you're gonna see the next day? And that's not to downplay when you get to see maybe like in person, or you get to see on live television someone like Kendrick Lamar, who puts on a hell of a performance whenever he gets the opportunity.
Not your message, not your freedom, not your people, not your neighbor, not your baby, not your equal, not the title you want me under. Oh, hell, king, kill, woke up.
But let's be real here, how often do we actually get a good performance like Kendrick Lamar? Like, most of the award show is filled with just mediocre performances in general.
Someone to love me for who I am.
But why even bring any of this up? What is the importance of bringing up the relevancy of the Grammys nowadays, or what the performances mean, or anything like that? And it's really just to highlight that when this time of the year rolls around, and you start to see like who they nominate for these awards, album of the year or rap album of the year, you start to really kind of see how shallow these awards are. And while I do want to talk about rap album of the year, first we want to talk about album of the year and just look at how messed up this list is. Like, for real, what is going on here? Are we really at a point in the Grammy history where sales are impacting who we give album of the year to? Like, Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy, Drake, Scorpion, were these really your favorite albums of the year for anybody? Like, if you were not like the most basic white audience out there? I get Scorpion overall just sold huge, the album in general. And then I get Cardi B, each single, like, I Like It, and then she had Bodak Yellow, she just attached to that album, and she had Bartier Cardi. Like, she had that album with a lot of singles attached to it, with Be Careful also, I forgot that one too. It makes sense why they're doing this, but it doesn't on the other side of it, because where is your integrity if you're only giving these albums the nomination for being good selling albums? I'm guilty of liking beer bongs and Bentleys. Like, who doesn't like that album, and who doesn't like Post Malone in general? But is he really deserving of album of the year? Like, really, other than just selling well because he's a mass appeal artist? Really? And then these other artist nominations just, like, they don't feel genuine. Like, this Janelle Monáe, Casey Musgraves, even Kendrick's just feels a little forced. Like, they had to put Kendrick in there just to appeal to everybody, so it makes some people happy. But at this point, you can at least be just somewhat thankful they're giving artists that are deserving it a little bit more than nomination, even though they're probably going to be outweighed by artists like Drake that'll win it over anyways. It's just a pointless game at this point. It's whoever has the most popularity wins album of the year, whoever has the most popularity wins artist of the year. That's just how it always goes, and whoever's the safest pick is the person they're gonna pick. Just like Bruno Mars last year. It's just a frustrating process, man. And I don't know if I was just like a little uncultured this year or something, but I thought they did a good job with picking album of the year nominations last year, even though I felt like they copped out by giving it to Bruno Mars. I thought they had some good nominations. I don't know what happened this year. Maybe I was just like, I had my good lenses on and I liked all those albums last year, and I just don't like the albums that were nominated this year. Either way, album of the year has never really mattered to me. It's always been kind of like that for the past few years. However, this year they did something a little bit more surprising, so let's get into the rap category, shall we?
Shining all over my body. Cardi got your bitch on Molly. Bitch, you ain't gang, you lame. Billy truck laying the lane. Blow up the brain.
So for rap album of the year, we have Invasion of Privacy, Cardi B, of course, makes sense. Sold a lot of singles, sold really well, makes sense. You got Pusha T, Daytona, he was really pushed for it. He always advertised his album as being album of the year, kind of makes sense too. Victory Lap, Nipsey Hussle, a little awkward, don't really know why they did that, maybe just some West Coast representation, but then again, there were better West Coast albums that came out. You know, don't really know why that happened either. Of course, you can't get mad at Astroworld other than the fact that you probably are sick of most of the songs on it by now, but it was a really good album by Travis Scott, really some good quality music. I'm glad that he's getting a nomination. It wasn't for Rodeo, at least it's for this album, it is good. But the last nomination in this list, they had to slip in Swimming by Mac Miller. And look, I like the album. I'm pretty sure everybody enjoys the album, whether you consider it to be his best work or just one of his better albums. It's still a good work overall. But when they nominated this album here, it seems extremely disingenuous. It's unfortunate that Mac Miller had to pass away this year in 2018, but this was the year that garnered him the most attention because of his passing. So it rubs you very much the wrong way when you see him being nominated for an award the same year that he passed away, in the same year that he garnered like a bigger audience, simply because he had passed away. Like, why are you doing this? It's just, you know, back then Mac Miller, he wasn't big enough, you know, he didn't have that audience, he wasn't big enough yet, you know. It's just kind of weird though. He's been releasing quality albums since like 2013, and since then he's been kind of year after year releasing good material, you know. But he wasn't worth it back then, Grammys. You're right. He wasn't worth it for any nomination. But now, this year, now that he's deceased, yeah, you got it. It's a perfect tribute. Like what is going through their heads when they give him this nomination? They want one of two options. They want one of the options to be either A, he wins and they can say, yep, we gave it to Mac Miller because he deserved it, you know, and it's a good tribute on our part to give it to him. Or B, he loses and they say, it was a good tribute just to nominate him and have him in the category in the first place. Oh man, dude. And it's like, yeah, it'd be great for him to win it for that album. It could be a great landmark, and it would just be great overall. Like, I get it. I get why it would be awesome for him to win the award. But it's just like, do we really need it to happen from the Grammys though? People get mad when you start going at the reasons why he shouldn't have this award and why it seems extremely like cross that they're doing it this way. But in the very plain fact of it is, does he really need this Grammy attached to his name? No, he doesn't. He's gonna be a great artist and he's gonna stand out no matter what. To see them put Mac Miller in this category, it's just like a big behind the curtains look at how they're trying to reach out to our generation and failing so miserably. They think that because he was trending so much in 2018 because he passed away, that putting him in this category would make people go, oh, the Grammys are so nice for doing that. When in reality, it's like, wow, the Grammys are extremely shallow for including Mac Miller simply because he passed away this year. They think it's a win-win by either him losing or him winning, but it's really a lose by the simple fact that they put him in the category to begin with. So I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I don't really think I'm probably going to watch the Grammys this year. It just doesn't seem worth it. After years and years of watching them and seeing how they operate and seeing how they just mass appeal, it's kind of sickening, and I don't feel like being a part of it anymore, to be honest. That is just my own personal opinion, and if you watch it, there's no judgment around here, and I always enjoy tuning in the next day to see those performances on the internet anyways. And I think that's all I really wanted to say in this video. I will link at the end of this video some albums that I think should have won if you're looking for my opinion, those of you who want to kind of combat me and think what albums do I think should have won. And yeah, if you want to like or subscribe, that'd be great too. I'd really appreciate it. If you guys want to comment in the comment section what albums you think are going to win or should win, or do you think maybe my opinion is wrong, just go ahead and feel free to comment that in the comment section. And as always, thank you for tuning into the music on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.